masters, and my dear guests. Good morning.
Good morning.
A couple of days back, when I was thinking of giving a good introduction to my speech today, I was imagining myself giving all these flashback introductions which blow the crowd away. But I thought to myself, if I keep giving these introductions every time I meet people, they would run away from me even before they hear my name. So I said I would give a normal introduction today, and I'm going to give you that. I'm Nitesh Reddy. I was born in Hyderabad at St. Fernandez Hospital in 1989. I moved around with my parents in Andhra Pradesh in 1995, and I came back to settle down in Hyderabad till date. My father, M. Reddy, is a government servant. My mother, M. Anita, is a housewife. So yeah, what next? My schooling, yes. I did my LKG in a school in Karnool, very far away from Hyderabad. I came to Hyderabad to join UKG. My parents, they wanted me to join a school called Little High School, and I was supposed to write an entrance test to get into that school. Now, I went to the entrance test. I went to the school to write the entrance test in tow with my uncle. Now, when I entered the school, I saw that the PT sir was whacking one student's ass for not polishing his shoes. Now I was terrified. I saw that I didn't want to enter such a school. I started crying immediately. I wanted to get out of the school. But my uncle convinced me, and I accepted it under one condition, that he would sit beside me when I write the exam, and he would protect me from that sir. So my uncle convinced the invigilator. This is a true story, okay? my uncle convinced the invigilator, and he sat beside me during the test. I passed the test. I did 7 years of my schooling in Little Flower, and that was one of the good times of my schooling. Now, let me tell you something about my father. He did almost all of his education in residential schools and colleges. So he was a tough man. Now, he also wanted his son to be tough. So he also had the idea of putting me in a residential college. Surprisingly, even I was intrigued with the idea. Even I also wanted to go to a hostel. But alas, I didn't know that I would be missing home and home-cooked food. After the initial sorrow, after joining the residential school and after the initial sorrow, I noticed something. I noticed that the girls in my school, I noticed that my school was co-ed. My old school wasn't. And I was elated. I was elated that my father took such a decision. But keeping all fun aside, joining the residential school was the best thing happened to me. I learned how to, I made new friends. I learned how to keep good relations with wide spectrum of people. I learned how to be friends with teachers. This was not the case in the previous school. They were always enemies during school hours. So that was after my 10th class. Now coming to my intermediate. After my 10th class, I was very, very fascinated about the top engineering colleges such as IITs and NITs. And according to the people, Ramaya Institute offered the best education to these institutes. And I wanted to join that. Now also according to the people, I had to join a rat race. Imagine a rat race to qualify to get into another rat race to qualify to get to the IIT. So this is what I had to do in 11th and 12th. And it was one of the worst times of my life. When I joined the rat race, I mean there was no education going on over there. There was more stuffing of information into your brain and something like that. So but I struggled through these 2 years. I had a depressing curve. I struggled through these 2 years, and I huffed and puffed my way to an engineering college called Chaitanya Bharati. But during this time, I fell in love with physics. I really liked the subject. Not with the girl. Okay, I fell in love with physics, and I still think it's one of the best subjects to read, and I still regularly read books about it. And also during this time, I was introduced to computers, and I knew it right away that I would be taking it up in my engineering. I mean, the natural course which we do after doing maths. So, after joining my engineering, I knew that and after my progress was rebuffed in my intermediate, I knew that I had to take control of my life. So I pressed the restart button in my engineering college, and I did well in my engineering. I learned a lot about computers, and I also attended some Linux users groups where geeks like me grouped together to talk about the Linux operating system. Here I met a person called Diana Tali, who led me to this wonderful group called Toastmasters. To this group where I have an opportunity to learn to communicate with the help of you people. Thank you. And so here I am at the most amazing stage of my life, where I'm as convinced as a child who has 10 5 stars in one hand and a remote control car in the other. You can't choose between them. That's all. Thank you.